We are now sewing the zipper gusset. You will need your piece H gusset bottoms, 2 lining, 2 exterior, your leftover little fabric loops that will be the zipper tabs, and your piece G triangle gussets. You'll need 4 linings and 4 exteriors, and they should have been cut out mirrored. So you have 2 exteriors in this orientation and 2 like this, and same with the lining. So to start off with, the zipper. For the small size, you will need a 24-inch zipper. For the large size, a 30-inch. For this, I ran out of my double pull zippers, so I'm using just a normal number 5 zipper that I have cut to 30 inches. Goes to this chalk marking. I don't know if you can see. And then I trimmed off the end of the zipper 3/8 of an inch past that. And I will do the same 3/8 of an inch past the end. And if you're using a double pull zipper, do it. Trim it to the correct length, or trim it to the correct length plus 3/8 of an inch at each end. And if you have 2 shorter number 5 zippers, you can combine them in the middle like this and make it into one longer zipper that will meet in the middle. So we're going to start. Make sure you know which way is the top. This is the top of my zipper, and I am going to set aside these pieces and be left with only the triangle gusset pieces. So I will locate one exterior piece, and I want to make sure I'm not sewing the diagonal side to the zipper. I'm sewing the side that is at a right angle, the long side that's at a right angle to the base. And we will sandwich this zipper in between a lining and an exterior. You will also need your zipper foot for this stage. So you may notice that these pieces go in at the top a little bit, so this side is mostly straight, but then it angles in, and that is important, and I will explain to you why when we get there. So when you are clipping these, make sure that you keep the raw edges flush with the edge of the zipper. Okay, we're going to start sewing with a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And when you get to this place where it goes in a bit, you are going to change to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And the reason why is that when you are sewing this later on, you do not want to have a little raw edge of this gusset poking out right there. So this will help it so that it does not poke out and end up being exposed. Now I'm going to fold these pieces out. and top stitch them. I'm going to take an exterior piece and a lining piece on the other side of the zipper. And I'm going to turn this over because I still want to sew from this end side, so that when I get to the place where I change seam allowances, that I can do that easily. So start off at 3/8 of an inch. And change to 1/4 inch seam allowance. So in metric, you'll be going from 1 centimeter to 6 millimeters. Oops. Forgot to change my needle position. Okay, at this point, I generally go and do the other end, but I'm gonna do that separately. For now, I'm going to start on the gussets, the gusset bottom. So you'll need 1 gusset exterior and 1 gusset interior. And 1 of these little strips. I can't remember which piece that is, maybe L. And you're going to fold this in half and baste it here. And then we will be sewing everything all together. So if you are concerned about the thickness for your machine, you might want to just leave out this piece. Oops, sorry. Leave out this piece altogether. I am going to try it, and if I fail, then I will redo it. My machine is domestic, but it's pretty strong. So I'm going to center this first. Oh, and I'm gonna poke this out about 1/2 inch or so, because otherwise it'll be quite long, maybe about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to sandwich the end of the zipper right here. And my other size that I've been sewing, I was a little concerned about the thickness of this end loop. Where did I put it? So, and this is a little bit thicker of a vinyl, so I used just the exterior fabric here, and it worked, but it was still fairly thick. So I'm not sure if my machine will be able to do this without skipping a bunch of stitches. However, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and then you can decide. And I might be pulling out stitches if this doesn't work. Okay, stitching across at 3/8 of an inch. And I've got to be a little extra careful because I have a metal zipper that I'm sewing across. I don't usually like sewing across metal like that, but the only double pull zipper I had was bright pink, and I just didn't have any fabric that fit with that. All right, I'm going to be hand cranking, both because of the thickness and so I don't go break my needle on the metal. I think I made it through. Oop. Generally, if you go slowly, if you have to sew across the end of a metal zipper and hand crank, the needle will find its way through without breaking, but always have to be careful. Phew, did it. And the back side isn't even too ugly. Just a little wavy. Okay. All right, now we will fold this down. And I'm going to clip all these in place. We're going to baste all the way around this, but before we do that, I want to top stitch right here. And for that, I'm changing to my Teflon foot and increasing my stitch length by a lot. And we'll see if I can make it. And I have to be careful because this is still a metal zipper that I shortened. Help it move along a little bit. Yeah, this is not going to be pretty on the back. Generally, I don't sell much with vinyl because my machine struggles with it so much. So I make these pretty bags for my patterns, and I give them away to friends who won't mind that there's loops and things like that in the back. Okay, and before we're done with this side, we're going to baste her all the way around. Okay, so that looks nice. And there's a little zipper tab to help you open and close it, which should help with this zipper because this is a particularly tough zipper to close. Okay, and now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other end. Okay, I have now finished the gusset for the small purse and the gusset for the large one looks similar, just longer and bigger. And now we are ready to sew it together.